And welcome back to the Dynasty Rewind, everybody. I'm your host, Michael Bauer. The best in the business is back in business. Before we get started today, I want to tell you guys a little bit about dynastyowner.com. So I have been looking for a new challenge, which is why I'm playing Dynasty Owner Fantasy Football this season. Dynasty Owner Fantasy Football unites the fun and excitement of fantasy football with the skill and strategy of the front office. Dynasty Owner is the only way to play fantasy football with real NFL salaries, adding the strategy of running an NFL franchise. Dynasty Owner provides a unique challenge for die-hard fantasy football fanatics. So go to dynastyowner.com/rewind. Leagues are forming now. We've all been in a league where the winner just got lucky. If you're like me and know you're better than most, Dynasty Owner gives you the platform to prove it. Dynasty Owner favors skilled players who can manage a roster using real NFL salaries within the salary cap. It adds an entirely new level of strategy. So go to dynastyowner.com/rewind to validate your fantasy football skills. That's dynastyowner.com/rewind. Start your dynasty today. And where it says here, if you're like me and know you're better than most, if you think you're better than most, that's because you listen to this podcast. So I want to introduce my awesome co-host. We're going to start first with Nate Christian. Nate, how you doing?
I am doing great. I just want to say I got the Purple Passion Ravens beer because it's opening weekend.
All right.
So good.
Cheers to opening weekend. Thank you. And also joining me today, we have Chev and Nooney. What's good, Chev?
Nothing much. Definitely glad to be on and see the boys. It's been a while since it's just been us, so I'm definitely excited.
Yeah, it's good to have just the four of us. Nothing against any of our guests, but it's good to have it the way it usually is. And also joining me today, like always, we got Phil Porkman Simmons. What's good, Pork?
Not much. Why do you say my name like that? Like you forgot it or something?
Well, I just said
Crazy,
it.
Mike.
What do you want from me?
You said it was like a little hesitation. I wanted to flow perfectly. Phil Porkman. Thank you.
Okay, and joining me today is Phil Porkman Simmons. Is that better?
I'm just kidding. No. I'm doing great today. I had a little bit of a rough week of talking to the guys, but I'm back. Got my cup of wine, couple beers, because Nate's all fancy with his purple beer. But I'm excited. We got football back this weekend. I'm sitting in front of the TV, annoy my wife and kids, and ignore them.
Yeah. I told my wife, hey, football's here, so I'll see you in about February. But we've been together for 10 years.
You're Eagles fan, right? So, like end of December.
Okay. Well, last time I checked, Nate, the first round of the playoffs haven't been so kind to the Ravens. So check yourself there, bud. And I still watch football, whether or not the Eagles are in it. So, but she knows we've been together for 10 years. So she knows the drill. Actually, she's doing really good. She downloads the Eagles schedule on her phone and she'll come out to me. Hey, were you doing anything on? No, never mind. So she knows automatically. It's great. It's great. And that's why you got to be good to your wife the rest of the year, gentlemen, so you can enjoy football whenever you want. Ladies, do the same to your husbands. If there's any ladies watching or listening. Also, if you're watching, sorry about all this. It's just what I was born with. It's what I deal with. So let's talk about the game last night. Thank you. Thank you, Porkman. So are you, that beautiful bald head of yours. You don't need any manscaping up there, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So, hey, let's talk a little bit about the game that we had last night. The Texans and the Chiefs started off, defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs, winning. I think it wasn't as close as the final score looked, in my opinion. But, Nate, you were talking beforehand about that that Texans offensive line just seemed not interested in blocking for Deshaun Watson.
Yep. There was one play where the right tackle totally missed didn't even block the end. And Deshaun Watson got out of the sack and rolled out to his right. And the tackle was just watching as the defensive end came around the other way to go get Watson. Man, those tackles, those guards, they just weren't even trying last night. Deshaun Watson in the fourth quarter, when he was standing in the shotgun, he didn't even want to be out there. It was a rough showing. Texans were not inspirational at all, and I took Watson pretty high in a couple of leagues this year, so it's a little concerning.
Rightfully so. I mean, consensus is he's going to have a good year, and I think he's still going to have a good year. But I'll tell you, was it? I mean, I think Deshaun Watson's a great quarterback. Was he getting sacked? Was the line that bad, or did he have no receivers getting open? I really think this is going to be like a super hot topic throughout the whole season. Chev, I think I know you're a big D-Hop fan, being down there in Arizona, so you must be thrilled the way things worked out.
You know, it kind of worked out for them too. They had a running back that put up some points for them as well. So I mean, he looked
did
better
good.
than what I expected.
Same.
And so I mean, I definitely would still keep D-Hop, but I mean, they kind of got some production out of that. And I mean, Troy King, he started Sammy Watkins last night. So good for you, Troy. Way to use him in week 1. Smart guy right there. But I mean, I hope they figure it out because that offense, trade him. That offense, I mean, I texted the boys like third quarter. I said, sleepy emoji. I was getting tired out here. It was so lackadaisical, man. There was just nothing going on. So, I mean, I hope they start to figure it out. And I hope Deshaun Watson is able to get all the money he can if he's going to be getting hit like that. So,
you think Bill O'Brien's going to get canned? I mean, yeah.
Who's going to can him?
He's the GM.
Well, I guess the owner.
Yeah, the owner can.
I feel like Bill O'Brien, the GM, and Bill O'Brien, the head coach, do not talk.
It certainly would seem that way. Yeah.
Because like Bill O'Brien, the GM, he goes and he has 2 pass catching running backs, but then head coach Bill O'Brien doesn't throw to his running backs.
I feel like they just fight against each other. They're just clashing all the time. They're just yelling at each other and nothing gets done.
Right.
Duke Johnson did leave with a leg injury. Did he come back? Do we know his status?
He didn't come back.
Okay. Is anyone starting Duke Johnson? I mean,
no.
Because everyone keeps talking about how he's the pass catching back there, but like you guys are saying, they don't throw the ball to the running backs. Hardly ever.
And it was a little different last night. So like that's usually an offense that is going to sling the ball down the field. And it was more intermediate passing, trying to get the ball out of his hands. But I mean, when you're down by so many points, you got to start getting time and trying to move the ball faster. So, I mean, this offense is going to be one to keep an eye on and see what's going to happen. I mean, you got wide receivers that are injury prone. So week to week, it could be a different guy. And Will Fuller, I mean, he impressed me a little bit. He was doing it not just on the outside. He was getting inside and getting those short intermediate passes. I mean, I don't remember ever seeing him really do that too much. So good for him to stay healthy through week 1, I guess.
Yeah, so we're talking about. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Porkman.
Nothing. What you say?
Oh, well, we were talking about targets to the running back. A lot of people on Twitter were freaking out about the lack of targets that Clyde Edwards-Helaire was getting. Yeah, he did finish with 2. You guys were saying beforehand. So everyone's kind of panicking. I don't understand why. I want to see him get targets, but the game script didn't really call for him getting any targets. I think we can all pump the brakes and just relax. CH is going to be fine. He looked great. Nate, what was that stat you were talking about before?
Yeah. So a couple things is, well, he was stopped on the goal line a couple times. That's been a hot topic last night into today. And goal line carries are almost always more of an offensive line stat than a running back stat. Okay. When you're 1 yard to go, 2 yards to go, it doesn't matter what your running back's doing if the offensive line isn't opening up holes. And the offensive line did great in the middle of the field, but the Chiefs' offensive line did not do good in the goal line. So it's not really Clyde's fault there. And if anything, we should be excited because it didn't matter that it got stuffed. Andy Reid kept going back to him. And as long as that continues, I mean, you saw how much he was out there in the third and fourth quarter when they were up. They weren't just going to start giving the ball to Darrell Williams to lead the game out. I mean, they're excited about Clyde. And, like, I want a piece of whatever Mahomes and Andy Reid are excited about. Because if they're excited about him and they're going to give him as many opportunities as possible, that's going to translate to fantasy points.
Yeah. So one thing that I'm curious about now is we really have to be careful about or watch and see what Jonathan Taylor does, because if he doesn't do much because, they're running Marlon Mack, which is a very good possibility. Frank Reich could just say, I'm sticking with the vet. He's my proven guy. We're going to work JTM when we can. This debate is going to rage on for some time. It's probably going to get pretty old pretty quick if I had to guess.
Yeah, and I mean, it's almost like the Kobe and LeBron. Like, I feel like we're going to miss out on their greatness and just be colliding with these guys for a long time. And I don't want it to be that way. I mean, I tweeted yesterday, super excited to see what Jonathan Taylor does after watching that game, because it's fun to watch a guy that you've been watching film on for God knows how long tear it up against a team in the NFL. Like, I'm sorry, I'm excited for that. I'm hoping the same thing happens for Jonathan Taylor. So, I mean, I hope we don't have to debate that for, the years to come, but it's got to be there because those two are so great. And don't forget about J.K. Dobbins either. He's going to be part of that conversation too. This class could just be absolutely ridiculous at the running back.
And
It could be
Nate, you make
bonkers.
a really good point too, that goal line carries is not usually a running back stat. It's more of an offensive line stat. So that's going to give the heads up, I think, to Jonathan Taylor. That offensive line appears to be better in Indianapolis. JT is bigger. That's going to help. But coming into this, we never thought, Porkman, did you think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be that 1-yard bruiser? That's not his game.
That's not really his game. He was a running back that would get stuff open in space, but
Exactly.
when
He's a great
when
pass
you see
catcher.
he is a great pass catcher, but the good thing about him is that he's short and compact, but he's also strong and fast. And usually all those things don't really come into one. He kind of reminded me of like the way Maurice Jones-Drew used to run back in the day. That you can't really get to him because you can't really wrap him up. But like last night, to me, it looked like he was focusing on ball security. So he constantly had the ball, two hands running up the middle and just moving his feet and grinding. So once he actually gets very comfortable with running the ball one hand and not fumbling the ball, he's going to be a freaking problem.
Yeah.
So I mean, like you was talking about with JT, I hope they don't try to compare the two. It's like usually like a two quarterbacks type thing, like the Mariota and Jameis Winston, where they both trash. But like these two guys, I feel as though are going to be really good. Just give the guys some time. It's just one game.
Yeah, and then on the goal line carries too, like I kind of like Clyde there though. His vision is so good. If he gets the blocks, he's already got the leverage down low, and his contact balance is so good. That's what really caught my attention last night. Just the contact balance, and then just him being safe, like him not taking those big hits unless he was getting thrown to and getting blown up. I kind of got scared when he got hit like that. But I mean, he didn't take any big hits and unnecessary hits either. He ran out of bounds when he needed to. He lowered his shoulder when he needed to. I mean, I love what I saw from him, and I think the future for him is super bright, especially in the offense that their defense is going to be, or the defense that they're going against is going to be so spread out. And I mean, I think Nate tweeted that today, and I'll let Nate talk on that a little bit more too.
Yeah, so he did really well against light boxes, which are, I believe it's like 6 or less, players in the box.
Right.
Some guys see stacked boxes, like 8, 9 players in the box. And people are saying, oh, well, he did against the light box. He averaged I think it was 8 yards a carry against the light box. Well, that's great. Why is that negative? Because let's remember, he doesn't play on the Indianapolis Colts or, I don't know, the Jaguars or, the Bears. He plays on a team with Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins. He's got all this speed. The Texans were playing last night in the light box because they had, 5 cornerbacks on the field, 5 players in the secondary. It's going to be his entire career. He's on the Chiefs. I mean, he's married to Patrick Mahomes his entire career until he leaves Kansas City. So, he's going to see light boxes every single week the majority of the time.
Yeah.
You can say it's an advantage, but it's part of who he is and the situation he is, and that's why we love him. It's talent and situation. It's great. It's a perfect storm.
Yeah. So he's going to be fine. We can all relax. We can all agree to trade Sammy Watkins because he won't get any more touchdowns. Maybe week 15, he'll sprinkle one in there and surprise you. The rest of the Chiefs offense looked as advertised. Travis Kelce looked good. Patrick Mahomes looked good. Tyreek Hill is still one of the fastest players in the NFL.
Not true.
Not true.
Not what we expected. Who here expected DeMarcus Robinson to have twice as many snaps as Mecole Hardman?
Okay, that we weren't expecting. I was just saying we expected the Chiefs to look good, and they did.
So he dropped 2 touchdowns too. I was like, "What are you doing, bro?"
Yeah.
And I'm not a betting man, but if I had DeMarcus Robinson scoring the first touchdown, I'm sure that would have brought me a pretty penny. So when they reviewed that call, I bet a lot of people were pretty salty when that happened.
Hey,
it was plus 8,000 or some crap.
So here's something that we're going to be talking about. Obviously, starts and sits. So Frank, good fan of the show, he wants to know Chubb, OBJ versus Baltimore, or Marvin Jones with Kenny Galladay possibly out. So Kenny Galladay has been ruled as doubtful. It is Friday right now, so we're gonna take that doubtful. Let's just say he's out, because if you're doubtful Friday, it's a quick turnaround. So that Baltimore defense is tough.
It is tough.
I would say, man, I don't know. I'd probably go OBJ if they get down and they got to throw.
Yeah, because I mean, OBJ will probably be covered by Nate. This would probably be your forte. Is he getting covered by Peters or Humphrey? Because
Humphrey. Peters will probably be. Well, Peters actually probably will be on the outside. It depends. See, I'm not sure if they're going to be starting Jimmy Smith on the outside across from Marlon Humphrey, or if Peters will be outside with Tavon Young in the inside. So
yeah, I think Young will be an inside because I think Jimmy Smith might be playing safety next to Chuck Clark.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, they say they want to have Deshaun Elliott be the starting safety. I really don't know until we see it on Sunday.
Mhm.
But I would assume that Marlon Humphrey's going to cover OBJ. He's the cornerback one there, and Marcus Peters will probably sit on Jarvis Landry the entire game. And outside of that, they don't really have any wide receivers to worry about. So I don't want whoever's going against Marlon Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey's really good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I like Marvin Jones with Stafford with Kenny G out. That sounds awesome to me. I'm going to keep Chubb because Chubb probably scores a touchdown.
Yeah.
He's going to get the ball, you know it. So I like Chubb even against Baltimore, but I mean, I'm not a big OBJ fan, but I like Marvin Jones with Kenny Galladay out. There's a lot of volume there.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we're talking about Kenny Galladay being out. Who are we starting in that? If we're not starting Marvin Jones, let's say Marvin Jones he's not an option for you. Who can we pivot to?
Can I say this? It's pretty funny.
Okay.
I would have OBJ as my number 2.
Yeah. So if you don't know what we're talking about, go ahead and look it up.
Yeah,
It'll be a hoot.
different.
Yeah, it's a little different. For the record, I don't believe it. I think it was it's an ex-girlfriend trying to get some airtime.
That cloud.
Bro, I don't believe it either, bro. But still, the story is funny as crap. That's weird.
Yeah, it's funny as crap. That's for sure.
Here's the thing: what was practice like the day after?
The next day.
I guarantee it was the shittiest practice of all time. I could guarantee it.
Oh man, she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna just record myself looking sexy, pooping." What?
All right, let's get back to some football.
So back to business. All right, so let's say Kenny Galladay's out. Marvin Jones is not an option for you. He's owned somewhere. Okay, we'll just switch to redraft, or if you have those deep dynasty rosters, which is what we specialize in here. Is it too early to turn to Quintez Cephas? Is it Danny Amendola time? I think I'd say probably Danny Amendola week 1 for sure. Should be available. I'm going to guess in a lot of leagues. There's not many places where I've seen him rostered. So
yeah, I think Amendola is the safe pick. To me, if you have him, you might be able to fire up some TJ Hawkinson because he actually might get some targets.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a toughie for me.
Yeah. Hey,
I don't know about Cephas though.
Yeah, I'm going to wait on Cephas. I'm going to keep him on my taxi squad. What are we doing with these Detroit running backs? I feel like I don't know what to do with them. We're not starting any of them. You got, I think,
not till Swift is fully healthy, and then I'll take Swift in PPR. But week 1, it's way too complicated with AP there now, and Swift might not even play. If he does play, he'll probably be on a snap count. It sounds like. I did read that the next man up for the wide receiver 3 with the Detroit Lions is most likely Marvin Hall.
Okay. So Quintez is still going to be on the back burner for a little bit. Okay. That's all right. Well, I still like his game, and I think he's in a good spot in Detroit, really. I feel like his style of play fits that offense pretty well. So so another one, this just happened, I don't know, I can't remember if it was today or yesterday. Cortland Sutton got hurt in practice. It looks like it's just kind of like a mild shoulder strain. I think he's going to be okay. Is he doubtful? I haven't checked on him in a little bit. Got kind of busy at work today. Is he doubtful?
He's questionable still.
He's just questionable.
Mike Evans is doubtful, though.
Mike Evans is doubtful, but let's just real quick. Cortland Sutton, he's the late game on Monday. So it's like you either got to pull him out early Sunday, monitor that real good, or you have to have a good backup, like maybe Deshaun Hamilton season for 1 week. Are we just going to try to find someone else?
find somebody else.
Yeah.
Somebody else. Yeah, Deshaun ain't it. I mean,
Right.
Judy might snap for his week 1. Honestly,
It's a very
if
good
Sutton is
possibility.
out,
I think
Judy can ball
Hamler
out.
is injured.
Hamler is, I'm pretty sure, as well. So, yeah. So, Jerry Judy could be a great play. Other than that, I'm probably going to leave the Denver wide receivers alone for right now.
Yep.
But let's talk about Mike Evans a little bit. So, he's doubtful as well. We know Chris Godwin he's a surefire lock. Okay.
Mhm.
Who are we looking at for a second wide receiver there? Tyler Johnson, no. I'm going to say
No.
Justin Watson.
No,
I'm going Scotty Miller.
Scotty
Miller. Okay.
He's had a great training camp from all accounts. Sounds like he's really locked up the wide receiver 3 job. I've heard from Buccaneers fans, our guy Brandon at Deep Dive, he said that Scotty Miller is awesome and he can play inside and outside.
Okay.
Not as like the X receiver. He's not big enough for that and physical enough, but like a wide receiver, off the line of scrimmage, and also as a slot receiver. He's got so much speed. It's like 4.3 speed. So, a couple of short routes, he can take it to the house.
Okay. So fire up Scotty Miller down there in Tampa Bay. Couple quick just running back ones. It looks like both Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders are going to be full go for their games this week. Chev, you did hear Jordan Howard. I heard that his injury was a little bit over-exaggerated. Did you hear that as well?
You said Jordan Howard?
Yeah,
David
Jordan
Montgomery?
Howard. I'm sorry. Why am I saying Jordan Howard? I mean David Montgomery.
confused.
I don't know why I
Okay.
got them confused.
I was so lost. I was like, I didn't hear no Jordan Howard injury.
I was like, all right.
The old podcast host I meant David Montgomery. I heard that his injury was a little bit overblown and that he's fine and he's ready to rock and roll for week 1.
Yes, I mean, he's starting off with this injury, going out on a cart. I mean, we're all thinking the worst. We just drafted him in Dynasty owner. We're crapping our pants right off the rip. But, I mean, to me, I've heard that Tariq Cohen's said he's perfectly fine. He's healthy. He's ready to go. And all reports where he had a full practice. So I'm all in on see, you got me saying
I'm
Howard.
sorry. I'm all mixed up.
All in on Montgomery. I would play with caution, though, especially in this week 1. Probably not going to try to overdo him. It's not worth losing him in the first week, right? So we'll see. But I think he'll be just fine. I don't think that injury is going to hinder him very much.
Okay.
Yeah, they said he had a torn ACL now to a freaking blown up groin. Now he's playing week 1. Like, which one is it, dog?
He lost his leg, I heard. It was one point.
Exactly. They put it back on. He grew it back like Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. All right, let's get him field.
But Miles Sanders did practice in full today. They said he's good to go. The only other one, Jalen Reagor, I would be really hesitant to start him. It said he's available. So
I heard he's a full go. There's no injury designation at all.
All I heard was available. And when I hear available, I'm out on available because that tells me like he might be on a snap count. So I'm not even going to put him in a starting spot anywhere.
Also, it's rookie week 1.
Right.
Not much of an offseason. Deshaun Jackson's actually going to be healthy for week 1 at least.
Fire up Deshaun Jackson.
So, yeah, I'm taking Deshaun Jackson. Maybe I'll take Jalen Reagor in week 3 or 4.
And here's the thing. That offensive line, I don't know if we're going to talk about that, but it is getting depleted too. So how much time is Carson Wentz going to have to throw the ball deep to him on those routes, So
and that worries me about Sanders too with his rushing. I'm not sure. I mean, the Washington defensive line is good. They have a lot of talent. So I'm not sure if I'm feeling the rushing for the Eagles this week. I'm not sure. I don't know if Sanders is going to be on a snap count. We might see a bit more Boston Scott this week, which, he could look really good as a flex play coming out of the backfield if they're going to throw the ball to him a lot if Sanders is on a snap count. So we'll see.
Who is healthy in Philadelphia is the question. I mean, can you guys help us
out? It's like the 49ers out there.
Our offensive line really isn't that bad off. I mean, we still have our anchors. Peters, he is 38 years old, but he still can hold his own out there. Kelsey is still all pro. Lane will be out there. And I still believe in our 2 guards that we have on Seamalu. And I can't think of the other guy right now, Mike. The right guard that did.
It's Pryor, aren't they starting
Pryor? Yeah, Matt Pryor.
I like Pryor
good at guard.
I'm fine with Pryor at guard. That tackle.
Right.
So here's the thing. They had Pryor at left tackle.
He got killed.
Josh Sweat was in the backfield so often. They said if it was an actual NFL game, he would have had 14 sacks. That's how bad Pryor was at
It
tackle.
was bad. So they
New record.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Lane Johnson had to restructure his deal to give Jason Peters more money. So that's how that's set up. So our offensive line is fine. They are stout in Washington, the football team. So
Yeah,
I mean,
Washington,
they are
you
stout
could
up
have done
front.
better.
Yeah, they could have.
They could have done better than that.
We'll be fine up front. So if Sanders and Scott does get their amount of carries, I think they'll be okay. Pass protection, that's the part I'm worried about because
Over
Chase
under
Young,
1.5 sacks for Chase
faster.
Young.
1.5. I'll take the under.
Yeah, I don't know how to predict that because I mean it's his first NFL
You haven't
game.
seen him.
I mean, if
Right.
it was later on in the season, I'd honestly be able to get, but I really don't. I don't know.
I'm more scared of Kerrigan than Chase Young right now because he's a seasoned vet and he
Yeah.
knows how to get back there.
Yeah,
They have Sweat too, right?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, they have Montez
Yeah,
Sweat.
Montez Sweat.
Yeah, you know,
Sweat, Kerrigan, Payne.
he didn't look that good last year, but I think this year is going to be a big improvement for him. So I think
for
he's going to
sure.
be fine if you play IDP at all. You could fire Sweat up all season long. And definitely here, sorry, it doesn't let me say who it is. Quick releases for Wentz means D Jackson slants all day and Ertz up the middle. Obviously, if you have Zach Ertz, you're going to start him. Goddard. For sure. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Goddard could be a good play too. Goddard, he did finish his tight end 1. So
Yeah, so I hopped on like a little Twitter pod with one of the leagues I follow, and nobody had Goddard on their roster out of 10 teams. I was so sad. So I had to roast somebody for having Chris Herndon on their roster just so they would go pick up Goddard, man. I was so embarrassed.
Hey, what do you actually, you know what, Chev, great point there. What do you guys think about Chris Herndon this week? Brashad Perryman, I don't know if he's playing. Denzel Mims is out.
Bro, how do you hurt both your hammies?
Because he's scared to run in New York.
I love Chris Herndon this week.
Okay.
Me too.
I don't really have him in too many leagues. And in those leagues I have better tight ends. I feel more comfortable starting week 1. But I have Herndon in just about every single DFS lineup this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
He's on DraftKings. If you play DraftKings, he's $3,300, which is like super cheap.
It's really good.
It's really good value right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, are we starting anybody else in New York?
Maybe Jamison Crowder.
Yeah, I like Crowder this
In
year.
PPR, I'm okay with Jamison Crowder as a flex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Before we move on from the Eagles, though, I got a bet.
You have a bet?
Yeah,
for
because
me,
it's
for me
easy
or
to
Pork
get
Man?
the Eagles fans to take a bet, right?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What are you trying to say, Nate?
You're easy.
All right. Ready for this bet?
We are.
All right, I'm listening.
Joe Burrow is going to finish at a higher score than Carson Wentz.
You mean Jalen Hurts, right?
That's enough of that blasphemy, Chev.
All right.
You got enough.
Joe
You
Burrow
talk
side.
about quarterbacks so bad. You got the worst quarterback situation in the NFL. Bye, Chev. You're going.
Actually, hold on real quick, Chev. So apparently the last couple times the Bears have played the Lions, like Trubisky absolutely destroyed him. There's actually a league I'm really contemplating. It's a super flex league, so I have obviously 2 quarterbacks. I'm really contemplating starting Trubisky over Roethlisberger, and that's not saying that I like him more. It's just Roethlisberger hasn't played football since week 2 last year, and when he did play in that week 1 game, he looked like absolute crap. So I'm thinking about firing up Mitch, to be honest with you, and just taking that gamble.
I took Mitch in a DFS play just because of that.
I don't hate that.
Cheap.
Well, I was gonna say he's probably cheap because nobody believes in him. But like I said, he's really balled out against Detroit. He could definitely do it again. They don't have Darius Slay there anymore, so I think I'm gonna fire him up. As for that, I don't know because I could
Carson Wentz.
I could easily see it happening if they get down a lot.
I'll take it.
So
I'll take the bet. Wentz over Burrow.
Porkman's got the bet. So Sean is not with us tonight. He's with his family, even though this is his real family. But he's going to catch up, so he's going to update that sheet. So we'll let you guys know. Put on the board, Sean. We'll let you guys know at some point. I'll tweet out on the show account. What's up?
Got another one for you. I'm full of bets.
For me or Porkman or Chev?
Everybody.
Okay. Nate's feeling it tonight.
Dang.
I'm gonna
Purple passion.
I'm going to take the bet that the Eagles and the Cardinals do not make the playoffs. And if either one of them makes the playoffs, then I lose. So I'm taking both.
I am not
Not making
making
the
that.
playoffs.
I'm not
Nobody?
taking that bet. I'm not taking that bet. I'm not going to bet on my team to make the playoffs.
Or
I don't-
the Cardinals.
I know, but yeah, I don't know about that one, Nate.
The Cardinals division is just too good.
That-
Right.
It's too good for them to possibly get in. I mean, I love what they did, the additions that they brought in, but like
That division is going to be tough.
to see that big
It's
of a
tough.
jump to make the playoffs. And do I trust Carson Wentz to stay healthy for a full 16, Nate? You answer that for me.
Do you trust Mitchell Trubisky to be a good quarterback for 16 weeks, Chef?
Well, Chev, you do know that he did play all 16
No,
games
you
last year, right?
Yes,
Who?
he did. Thank you.
Wentz did play all 16 games last year.
Who?
Carson Wentz. He played all 16 games last
He
year.
heard you.
True.
Well,
Yeah, he also did in his rookie season. So I'm not going to take that bet, Nate, because it's going to be tough for the Cardinals. Also, for the record, I think the NFC South is going to be really hard this year, too. Like, it could go either way. You know what I mean?
It
You could
could.
have a 10-6 team finishing third in that division. Could be tough. Any other bets, Nate, before we move on?
I got plenty.
All right, good. Well, we'll sprinkle them in. So, one person saying Nate already been sipping hard tonight, huh? Feeling real loose with those bets. So, yeah, keep them coming, Nate.
Mike Caffrey is the guy.
Okay. See,
He's
I
the-
don't know,
he's
which
the
I don't
producer.
understand why it doesn't let me see it.
I'm just
It
looking
doesn't-
at my phone.
Yeah. All right. So Frank wants to know Matt Stafford or Ben Roethlisberger. I'm going to go Stafford.
Stafford.
Yeah.
Even though, Bears do have a good defense. Like I said before, we haven't seen Ben play in a little bit. So, though they do play the Giants, so that could be kind of
Yeah, I think the Steelers this year are going to rely more on the run than usual. Connor is back. He's healthy. Hopefully, he stays that way.
Yeah,
I think
James
they're going to
Conner.
try to. I think they're going to try to ease Ben's arm back into season form and not just kill it week one, throw for like 50 times
Smart.
like he used to do back in the day.
Yeah.
Sprinkling some Benny Snail.
I mean, they saw what happened last year without Big Ben, so that would be the smart move for them for sure.
Hey, Dynasty
Hey.
Sons, my guys,
That bacon, though.
Yeah.
all
I love
day
that bacon.
crispy.
So Nate, hey, real quick, why don't we do this briefly before we move on? I believe you had something that you wanted to talk to our listeners about, and Chev's gone. He just left.
So the incredible people over at Dynasty Nerds, I am a company man. They are going to let us give out a free month of the Nerd Herd membership with the new Dynasty GM tool, which is freaking incredible. You get to manage all your leagues on this one tool. You can do trade calculator. You can build trades from there. It's absolutely incredible. You can see your entire league and who has the best quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. So you can focus on who you want to trade for, who's your best trade partner, and of course all the Nerd Herd stuff with the rankings and the podcast. So they're going to let us give away a free month of the Nerd Herd and the Dynasty GM. All you have to do to enter the sweepstakes is go on the Dynasty Rewind account. We will put a tweet out tomorrow. And over the next week, if you post a screenshot of you being subscribed to the YouTube channel, and of course, if you're following the show account, then you're entered in, and we will do the giveaway next Friday. And we'll let somebody know who they won. And bang, free stuff. Everybody loves free stuff.
Perfect. Everyone loves free stuff. So we'll tweet that out again just as a reminder. So we'll just catch up on a couple of comments here. Actually, I want to go to this one first. Frank wants to know, do the Eagles sign Ertz? I think they do. They'll get it done at some point. They do want him there. Porkman, you're wrong.
I don't think so.
I think-
Because if they would have done it already. They wouldn't have given him the disrespectful offer that they gave him already. I feel as though they're going to try to go back to the way Joe Banner used to be. Hey, you're 30. We already got your replacement. It's just time to move on.
Negotiations start somewhere, Porkman.
I know they do, but that was a bad start.
Mitch wants to
Very
know,
bad
can we
start.
trust David Montgomery this week as a flex or James Robinson from Jacksonville? Man, I don't know if I'm trusting any Jacksonville running backs week one unless I absolutely have to.
Especially against a good Colts defense.
Yeah. And Dynasty Sons replied with basically what's our answer. If Monty's a full go, I'm rolling him out greater than J-Rob.
Hey,
Absolutely.
is that must be Beezy, because Beezy is the resident David Montgomery guy. So I know that's him running this thing right now. But
You
I
were
do
about to
agree
say
with
Jordan
him.
Howard, weren't you?
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
That's
damn.
all. That's only me. Troy says Monty scares me week 1.
That's deep.
I mean, if you have a better option, I would not be upset if you didn't start
opposed
Monty.
to it.
Like, you
Right.
know, if you have a better option to go play him above him, like I would, because you
Because
don't know
most
what
likely he's your RB2. So I mean, if you drafted somebody like Jordan Howard, maybe you can probably put him in instead. That'll give you more of a safe floor. Who's going to give you carries?
All right, let's see. So I had to respond to
Come
someone.
on, guys, bring on the bets. Come on, I'm willing to take all the shots at the end of the year.
I don't have anything right at the moment, so we'll get
I mean,
there.
Chev's taking 5, so I gotta lose some bets, guys. Come on.
Heck, Chef, you already said you're losing already.
boys. You guys treat me like Van Jefferson on the podcast about my bets. So, you know, I'm a silent assassin right now. with
Listen,
the bet.
if Porkman was treating you like Van Jefferson, he'd be over there with his head in your lap. So I don't even want to hear any of that, Chev, right?
What?
Because you love that guy.
I really do, because I really feel like he's going to be good. And watching him with Hard Knocks, yo, oh my god, I pretty much like creamed my pants. It was like just the way, the way he was like talking to Ramsey, he just soaking it all up. He already beat out Josh Reynolds, so it's like, geez,
Wheels up on Josh Reynolds,
Yo,
Porkman.
wheels down.
The way
Yes,
you
man.
guys were disrespecting Sammy Watkins at the beginning of the show.
I feel
Let's
a
make,
bet
let's
coming
make
on.
a Sammy Watkins bet. Come on.
Okay,
someone give
let's
it to
make
me.
a Sammy Watkins bet.
Are
I
you willing to make the threshold?
what kind of bet?
The threshold of
Touchdown.
what? Games played, touchdowns, catches, because he's going to have more than 2 for the
Top
rest of the year.
wide receiver at the end of the year?
Top. What do you think, Nate? It's no higher than 20.
Yeah,
I was
would-
gonna
I would agree
say
with that.
wide receiver 2.
So 24.
I'll take
And
lower than that. Nah, I'm taking the under because, bro, it's every year he's telling
All
you
right.
I'm going
Pork
to
and
be
me
good
making
week
some
1.
bets.
I'm going to be trashed the rest of the year. Every
All right.
time.
All right, let's see it. All right,
All right,
put it on
let's
the board.
go.
All right, Sean, do your thing. Update that sheet. So Porkman's saying he's going to finish lower than a wide receiver 2, and Nate, you're saying he will finish as a wide receiver 2 or better.
Yep,
All right, great. And we're putting it down for
just one shot.
just one shot. And is
Yeah.
the last bet the same one shot as well?
One shot.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Perfect. So
We need
Sean,
to get our bet with Troy King and Jay Rich too.
I
We
think
never
that
figured it out how much we're drinking.
okay. All right. All right. Hey, so Mitch has another question. Any of you know who Olamide Zacchaeus is? And if so, could he be their offense's next Taylor Gabriel?
Probably
He
not.
is pretty quick. He's not, but he's fast as crap. I just don't
Right,
know
so-
if his route tree is good enough yet. He needs to work on
Admittedly,
that.
I don't
I
know
think there's just
who he is.
also too much competition in front of him.
Yeah, it is.
There's Julio, there's Ridley, there is Gage.
Gage,
So he's
yeah.
going to be the 4th wide receiver at best.
And Hayden Hurst is there, and Ty Gurley's a good receiver. So he's got a lot of competition.
A ton.
He'll have a couple, big plays throughout the year, but not nearly consistent enough. I think he's not a terrible stash in a deep league, but I'm not betting on him anytime soon.
Mm-mm.
But speaking of wide receivers, does any
I feel a bet coming on.
yeah, bet coming on, man? I promise, I've only had like half a beer.
But I love it. I love when you loosened up like this.
I'm just
man.
excited, guys.
That's
I just,
great.
I'm
I mean,
like
football's
excited,
here.
too.
You should be excited. Football's here,
I'm the
man.
one taking all the bets. Chev ain't doing nothing. He's just sitting there looking gorgeous.
No, Chev's just waiting for the right bet to take, just like I am. That's why.
That's because he's already over.
See,
I love
just-
my limit.
I like to drink. I like my friends to drink. So the more bets I can get going, the more drunk we can be.
All
I
right,
can't
well,
buy
what do
2
you got?
bottles though. I'm already gonna be drinking 1 basically.
We'll mail you something. How's that sound?
Deal.
All right. One of my hot takes for this year is I think Michael Gallup is going to finish higher than Amari Cooper.
I
Okay.
would agree with that, actually.
I
Yeah.
kind of agree with that as well.
Yeah, I'm not
I
the
mean, that's-
biggest Amari Cooper guy, but I love Michael Gallup.
You guys are all on my side here.
Well, I'm sorry. It's a
Yeah.
good take. I mean,
I'm just not I'm not that high on Cooper. I know Cooper is good. He just
No.
doesn't do it for me all the time.
Hey, question for you guys. If Cooper's not doing great, I don't know what his contract is, if it's possible, but if Cooper's not doing great and Gallup's balling out and CeeDee Lamb's balling out, is he a trade candidate?
Yes. He's also a cut candidate after next
He's
season.
a cut candidate, right?
Right. So maybe get something for him while you can.
Who do you guys like? Come on. Who do you guys like? I'll bet against them.
All right. So I like
Lamar Jackson. I love Lamar Jackson.
Oh, you love Lamar Jackson. I bet
He
you
will
do.
not throw for 4,000 yards. How's that sound?
Terry. How about we do this? Who's going to finish higher, Terry McLaurin or DJ Chark? Because I'm taking Terry McLaurin on that.
All right, sure. I like both those guys. I'll take either one. So I'll take DJ.
What about you, Chef?
I would say DJ as well.
Do you want in on this one, Chef?
Fire me up. I'm not betting enough, apparently.
All right.
What about you, Mike?
Give me DJ Chark.
Oh, it's not about myself. Woo, lone wolf. I'll take
That's
it.
right.
Let's go.
All right. So, Sean, it is all three of us, myself, Chev, and Nate. We feel that DJ Chark will finish higher than Terry McLaurin, and that's for one shot.
Do we all want to take a side on Kelsey versus Kittle?
Actually, hold on real quick. What I think should be established with these bets is if any of these players gets hurt and misses a considerable amount of time, we're obviously going to have to weigh that in.
We'll have to use points per game.
Right. We'll figure something out. So, and do I want to say anything about Kelsey versus Kittle? I don't know.
I'll take Kelsey.
Tough.
You take Kelsey. What about
Anybody
you?
taking Kittle? I would take Kelsey personally.
I would take Kelsey as well because he has a touchdown upside, and Kittle really doesn't. He gets a lot of yards, so that's the tough part for me. That's a toughie.
Yeah, but with the way that, right now I think Kittle might be the only
He's the
receiver
wide receiver one,
in San
2 and
Francisco.
3.
Yeah.
So is Mike taking Kittle here? Everybody against Mike? Put it on the board, Sean.
Put on the board, Sean. He doesn't even get the answer.
All right,
I say
there we
put
go.
on the board, Sean. Let's take a drink. Fine, but I'm not taking 3 shots if that's the case. I'm only taking one.
Just one.
Kittle is
Mike's only taking one too.
and Travis Kelsey.
I'm only
So,
taking one. Shoot, if you tell me 3, I'll take 3. So no, I'm gonna take one. I'm not trying to die.
so I'm saying apparently that Jorge Kittle will finish higher than Travis Kelsey.
Apparently,
Sean, so
Passion.
write that down. Purple Passion. I just got some.
Not purple,
Purple
haze.
Haze got Nate Wild.
Yeah, Purple Haze is by Abita, which is actually a pretty good beer. I've had that.
That sounds like a weed strain, but that's a different story. Different day.
Also, you feel a bet coming on?
I kind of feel a bet coming on. Go ahead, Nate.
I was thinking that someone in the comment section could give us one scrub and another scrub, and then we pick who's going to finish higher.
All right. Well,
I'll put a bet on it.
I'll tell you
So-
what. Why don't we talk about those scrubs? But there's one thing that you have to remember, and that is support for Dynasty Rewind is brought to you by Manscaped.com, who is the best in men's below-the-belt waist grooming. Make sure you don't scrub too hard. Chef's got weed safe balls right up there on the screen. So that's why Manscaped has redesigned their electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months, that's a year and a half, perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created and just released the new improved Lawnmower 3.0. Their third-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to advanced skin-safe trademark technology pioneered by Manscaped. Manscaped obsesses over your balls and their technology developments to provide you with the best tools for your grooming experience. These also only use the best ingredients in their formulations. When you trim the bushes, the tree stands taller. When I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes, so you can take a longer shave. Listen, if you're shaving your groin for 90 minutes, you need to get waxed, okay? Just suck it up and get it done.
You just need a real lawnmower at that point.
You do. One of the greatest features is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for closer and more precise trimming. They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. Quiet stroke, which is what you do when your kids are sleeping in the room next to you. And let's not forget about the charging stand. Show your mower off loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. If you're listening to me speak right now, I do apologize, but you were one of the first people to hear about this life-changing project, and I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself. So trim that junk of yours. Get 20% off and free shipping with the the code pork20 at manscaped.com. Level up your hygiene routine with only the best manscaping tools. Your balls and your ladies will thank you. Again, on the bottom of the screen and in your ear holes, pork20 at manscaped.com, 20% off and free shipping. Do it or don't, but we would prefer if you did. So let's get back to it. Okay.
Jalen Hurts.
No, we're not betting on Jalen Hurts. Stop it.
Yo, Shev's with me.
I'm in on Jalen Hurts, boys.
Absolutely not. So Derek is saying Deontay Johnson or Russell Gage, both strong.
That's terrible.
We're not.
All right, so Mike wants Taysom Hill in this bet.
No, I'm not doing a Jalen Hurts. I'm not betting on an Eagles quarterback. Stop it. Let's see.
Was that H-back for H-back?
Quarterback / tight end for quarterback / tight end.
Yeah.
Patterson versus who's another scrub wide receiver?
Oh, who was I just thinking about the other day? And somebody commented.
Miles Boykin or Obisi Johnson?
Listen. I've heard a lot of good things about BC, man.
Yeah, I like
Apparently,
BC.
they like him up there in Minnesota. Are we rolling him out week 1? I mean,
BC or Paris?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
That's
I'm
a
going
good one.
Paris.
All right, let's hear it, guys.
BC.
That's
I'm going.
tough.
I'm going BC Johnson, man.
I'm going BC Johnson on the strength that I have this Justin Jefferson, Van Jefferson bet.
Deb?
I already picked Paris, man. I'm going with him.
I'm going Paris too. Put it on the
All right.
board.
All right. So Sean, Porkman and myself are taking BC Johnson. Chev and Nate are taking Paris Campbell. As much as I love Paris Campbell, I just think with T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman there.
Zach Pascal.
Zach Pascal is there.
He won me a week last year. Come on.
Well, hey.
Yeah, he won me some weeks too.
Yeah. All right, Frank wants to know. He says Riggs or Edwards, but I think he means Ruggs or Edwards.
I'm taking Edwards if it's Riggs.
Edwards.
if it's Riggs or Ruggs, I think we're all taking
That's rigged, bro.
Yeah. But I think you're going would you go Edwards as well there?
He puts Riggs again.
What the hell is this for like start or sit, or is this for our bet?
I think it's a bet, but are we all on Edwards here?
I'll take Ruggs this year.
All right, so
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
I
Put it on the board.
So Sean, myself, and Chev against Nate, we are taking Brian Edwards over Henry Ruggs. Man, dude, I was telling Chev today that we're gonna have to have his girlfriend hook him up to an IV so he can stay hydrated.
Yo, this show's gonna turn into a 24-hour show, man. I mean, Nate's just pumping these things out.
We should make a potathon with shots.
Yeah, shot-a-thon.
Did you see?
Shot-a-thon, baby.
Boom.
Did you see the Alcoholic Anonymous potathon that the Dynasty Rewind did? They showed how bad drinking is for your mental capacity.
As you know, Randall Cunningham is going to be good this year.
Why don't we do like a lower tiered wide receiver, like a Randall Cobb versus like a Danny Amendola.
Danny Amendola.
The second Danny Amendola reference on this show today.
Getting
Might be
dirty.
like
that's
only 2 times he's ever been talked about on the show. They're all today. Like something of that nature there. I mean, can we think of anyone else?
Trying to think.
That's
What
a tough
about
one,
like
honestly.
a Colin Johnson versus somebody?
Quintez Cephas.
Trying to
I'll
think.
take
That's the name it was. Colin Johnson versus Quintez Cephas.
See, that's
So I
hard.
think I'm gonna go Colin Johnson.
I'll go Cephas.
I'm going Cephas too.
I really want to go Quintez, but I feel like, damn it, I'll take Cephas.
Put it on the board.
Oh
Right.
my!
All right, so who's on Quintez's side here?
Y'all three. I got Colin Johnson on my own.
So, Sean, it is myself, Chev, and Nate. We are predicting that Quintez Cephas will finish higher than Colin Johnson, and Porkman is on the Colin Johnson side. So,
Here's the problem. It's Kenny G, Marvin Jones, Danny Amendola, Quintez Cephas / Marvin Hall. Okay. And then it's DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, Chris Conley, Dede Westbrook, and then Colin Johnson.
All right, we'll figure it out.
We just need one catch. We're good.
Yeah.
One catch, we got this.
We
Three
you know
or four.
what?
That's it.
We might
What
need
was,
only like one catch. Yeah.
Talking
that's-
about this, Nate, you should talk about our rookie draft because that's kind of what our rosters are really looking like with all these rookies that we drafted. It's
True, I
pretty fun.
Yeah. So
my
a
team is
throwback
cheats.
to the beginning of the offseason when before the draft, we all did a draft of just rookies for a redraft league. And it's 2 running back, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, and a super flex. So my starting lineup for this week. See, I got Clyde. That's a good pick. Got DJ Dallas in my second RB spot. And then CeeDee Lamb, LaVisca Chenault, Henry Ruggs, Harrison Bryant, John Hightower, and Chase Claypool.
Hmm.
Okay.
Oh, you must just change it because it still has LaMichael Pirine in here, and he's listed as out.
He's
so
out. Sorry, I changed it.
All right.
And then I'm going against Mike, who's got Jonathan Taylor, Joshua Kelly, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hill, Devin Duvernay, Adam Trutman, Cam Akers, and Joe Burrow. Really helps to have a quarterback in this league that's starting.
Yeah,
It
it's gonna
does.
help.
Yeah, I don't got one.
I got Herbert, and he's not starting. So
I
yeah,
drafted Jalen Hurts.
I don't have any. I don't have any starting. Let's check in.
Before draft, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so Porkman, he's got J.K. Dobbins, Zach Moss, Denzel Mims, Brandon Ayuk, Michael Pittman, Colby Poole Porkinson, Van Jefferson, and Antonio Gandy Golden. And then his bench has a whole bunch
It's
of guys on the
trash.
squad.
It is
Garbage.
Oh my god!
He's got Salvon Ahmed, Michael Warren, Darius Anderson, Benny LeMay. Like those guys aren't even
But-
on the squad right now, man.
So
But they're on the squad.
Michael Warren's on the practice squad. I don't know if Savon Ahmed made it on the final roster or
I
not.
don't know, dog.
And then let's see,
Dude,
Chev.
but
Chev's got
he
DeAndre
practice
Swift,
squad.
Antonio Gibson, Brian Edwards, Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, Akawobe Bubbly, Jalen Rager, and Darrington Evans.
So now hold up a sec. So you're telling me that if Chev beats Porkman this week, Porkman is going to get beaten by Antonio Gibson?
Yes.
Yes,
That's what
sir.
you're telling me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I like this comment here. I was riding in a car to York, Pennsylvania tonight. I was trying to think of some good bets. And I was thinking it's more fun when you bet on scrubs than all-stars. And I was like, how can we get Dante Pettis involved in the bet?
Here it is.
give me Dante Pettis, dog. I'm
Frank
taking it.
Tomko says Dante Pettis or Equimenius St. Brown.
I'm going with the Saint.
Equinemius.
You're going with Equimenius? All right,
Saint.
and Procman, you're on.
Give me Pettis. I don't care.
Mike, you have to take Pettis because you're a big Pettis fan.
I was
That's
a big
true,
Pettis
you are.
fan. He did break my heart.
Who are you taking?
I'm just going to take
Equimenius?
Pettis anyway.
I'll take St. Brown.
Okay. All right. So,
Nate and Nate, the young pups, baby.
all right. So, Sean, it is myself and Porkman. We're going Dante
Put it on the
Pettis.
board.
Nate and Jennifer, they're going to be talking about some Equimenius St. Brown.
Yo, if Pettis goes off week 1, I'm going to freaking die. That'd be some funny crap.
Man, I'm really not looking forward to looking at this sheet of Dynasty Real. This might be a 2-part episode. I'm not going to lie.
Like 4 sheets long.
Yeah. So,
Sean will
Give me
take
more
care of it.
bets. We can add bets in the mid-season, when something happens. Be like, hey, yeah. Who wants to bet on James Robinson? Who would have thought about that last week?
yeah. I mean, everyone would
I'm
have,
not.
everyone would have thought that it would have been, what the hell?
Oh, Zigbo.
Yeah, or it would have been, what's his name?
Armstead.
Yeah, Raquel
Armstead?
Armstead.
Oh, COVID.
Yeah, I know. COVID list twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
This year?
Yeah, twice.
That's something.
Oh, speaking of COVID, I know it's kind of off topic because it goes to basketball, but you hear about the dude who brought the chick into the room with him, and he said he couldn't come back into the bubble because he tried to date apparently he smashed the COVID tester lady.
Free pass.
Did you hear about that? Yeah, he was like, well, I mean, if they test him for COVID, you think she'll be fine, right? How's that breaching protocol?
I don't
Uh,
know. Well, it's
Workman's
like
feeling some type of way tonight.
you
Huh?
You're feeling some type of way tonight, man.
Yeah, because that's messed up, man. I mean, hey, if she tested me for COVID, she don't got it, right? You would think so. So why, if you bring her to the room, to be good?
I feel a bet coming on, Nate.
I got a great idea.
Okay.
While we're in the season, each week we will do a bet on a player over under fantasy points, and then the next week someone's got to start off the show with a shot. That's it, just one. Pretty simple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
So you
All
want to do what's your bet for week 1?
For week 1, it's got to be someone who everybody's thinking about. Like everyone's wondering, what's this guy going to do? And no better person this
JT.
week than James Robinson. He's projected for 8.2 fantasy points in half PPR.
I'll go over.
Mm,
Who are they playing again? Indy?
The Indianapolis Colts.
I'll take the under.
Give me the-
8.2 fantasy points in half PPR.
I'll take the under. Thinking kind of hard there, Mike. You good?
I'm going to take the under.
I will take the over.
Young
Put it on
Bucks
the board.
doing it.
Okay. Are we going to do
You know,
this?
me and Mike, are we comparing like it's the same crap?
I guess. Are we going to do this for scrubs all year though? You know what, Nate? I like this idea. It is more fun when you bet on scrubs.
It
To be
is.
honest with you know what I mean? Like
You're yelling at the TV.
I mean, as much as you love watching guys like Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Christian McCaffrey, like everybody talks about them, but
And
not
every week there will be some scrub that is pushed into a position to score points.
yes.
And that's who everybody always wants to know about. No one's asking if they should start Mark Andrews or Travis Kelce or somebody like that. They want to know if they should start James Robinson tonight.
Yeah. So, any other like starts or sits that you guys are thinking could be impactful that maybe people aren't thinking about?
I got
Yes.
a question in my DMs today about a start sit. That was
Okay.
pretty tough.
Let's hear it.
In a flex spot in half PPR, Alan Lazard or Darius Slayton? Giants are playing the Steelers. Not a good
Okay.
matchup. And there's a lot of competition there because everyone's healthy. And then Alan Lazard is playing the Vikings.
I would take Lazard.
I don't really trust that Packers wide receiver too, though, is the problem.
I'll take Lazard for me for sure.
If it was my team, I'd probably be starting Darius Slayton. I rolled with him a lot last year. He did well for me. I like him. I think Daniel Jones likes him. So
That secondary in Minnesota though isn't that great, is it?
No,
Right.
it's not. They had a lot of turnover. They lost Trey Waynes. The other dude was trash anyway. I can't think of his name. He was so freaking good. Xavier Rhodes. He was really good years ago, but last year he was just straight but. So I don't know who their starters right now. I know they drafted. Was that Mike Hughes? I think he's starting out there, but I'm not really
I believe
sure.
they
who the
drafted
number
Cameron
2 is.
Dantzler, right?
I guess I don't even remember. So I mean, it's a lot of turnover there, and they're young guys, so they might get roasted early.
I originally said Darius Slayton, but after talking about it, I went with Alan Lazard.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a tough one though.
Mhm.
Hey,
I like to play in my flex position. Honestly, I like to put a running back.
Bill.
Why do you not like having a running back in
Yeah.
your flex?
no, it went at the
I was
comment.
looking at the comment.
I was
No,
like,
I agree with you, Chad. I mean, obviously you want running backs on the field or on your team more.
yeah,
But Frank wants to know, are we going to start Jordan Reed or Jimmy Graham? Neither.
Neither.
give me
yeah.
Jimmy.
Just stop.
I think Frank's still
Oh.
trying to come up with bets.
Oh,
Yeah.
Frank, I don't want any part of that bet, man.
Let's
Yeah,
get
I'm
Frank
not touching that one.
That's an easy bet. I'm taking Jimmy Graham all day.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would take Jimmy Graham. Hey, Jimmy Graham
Yeah, if I had to pick one.
was pretty close to a tight end one last year. He had 600 some yards receiving, a couple touchdowns. So, he wasn't too far off, really. Like maybe that just shows how bad some of the tight ends were.
Oh, I just got news. Remember we asked about Duke Johnson, said he sprayed his ankle, so he might not be playing next week against Baltimore.
Good for
That's gonna be a
him.
rough game for the Texans. I feel like.
It is.
The Texans, man, they're starting the season off with some tough games, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Tough.
Yep.
But hey, you gotta. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, their first 4 games they were talking about, and man, it did not sound good for them after watching their offense week 1.
Yeah.
Who they got? They got Baltimore. Somebody else that's really good too. I can't remember exactly who though.
Yeah, it's a toughie.
Well, sounds like we're winding down here.
Yeah. I'd say we're winding down a little bit.
It's an hour.
Yeah, we're at almost exactly an hour. So yeah, Sean, get your right hand ready, man, because
His writing hand, more like typing hand.
well, I don't know. Maybe he writes it down first as he's listening, and then he puts it into the spreadsheet.
No, that's only you, bud. You're the only one with the paper.
Killing trees.
Well, sometimes I make notes during the show, so I remember things because I forget everything though. So,
I'm with you.
Frank says
Yeah.
no, that was a bet, but I think we would all take Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
Jordan Reed should just retire, really, and
Yeah,
it's a
I
shame
feel bad
because
for the guy.
I do too. But you got a life to look after football, man. Like, you know what I mean? We don't.
So that means that if Jordan Reed outscores Jimmy Graham, we all have to take a shot, right?
I'm in.
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I
All right.
think
Why not?
the
Put it on
only,
the board.
the only way it happens though is if Jimmy Graham tears his ACL walking to the stadium before the first game and Jordan Reed catches a pass. I got to be honest with you, like, but sure, put it on the board. If Jordan Reed outscores Jimmy Graham, we'll all take a shot. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
why not?
All right.
Yeah, this is gonna have to be a 2-parter. This is a lot of shots.
Yeah,
but-
we're gonna have to break this joint up, man. It's
yeah.
so.
I'm ready. I'm confident.
Okay, well, listen.
You better
So
be.
good. I'm feeling so good.
So look, stay tuned. The season's upon us. Good luck, everybody. But this is what you've been preparing for. When we're talking Dynasty, try not to overthink things too much. Remember, you start your studs and let it all play out. Okay. This isn't redraft. Redraft, obviously, you pick your teams with bye weeks in mind. This is Dynasty. You have to be able to adjust on the fly. One thing that I'm going to tell you: if guys, a bad game, do not panic sell, and also do not panic buy if you're down a little bit. Okay. It's a long season. It's a long season. Relax.
Yep.
Let
My
the game
biggest
come.
piece of advice is fantasy football is a season-long game, but it's weekly. So, like, look at your matchups. When you're playing each week, it's almost like a DFS lineup. Like, you want the best matchups for the best players. So sometimes you might be like this week, I might be dropping Deontay Johnson if he's, super questionable and maybe, Ben's not ready to throw the ball. I love Deontay Johnson, but if I got somebody on my bench who I think is going to score more points, got to play the best player who's going to be in the best position to score points. It's all about scoring points. So
And there does come a time where your allegiance to your home team has to go away and you got to focus on winning. It's that easy.
Exactly.
So, all right. So, hey, listen, just good luck, everybody, in week 1. It is finally here. We've been waiting so long. I never thought I'd say this, but I missed preseason. But here we are, week 1. So good luck, everybody. Remember, keep your late game guys in the flex spot. Check on Cortland Sutton's availability. Good luck to you, everybody. But that's why you're listening to this show, because you want to be super prepared, and you are fantastic people. We love all our listeners, all our followers. We're here for you guys. DMs are always open. Show account, all of our personal accounts. But before we head out, Chev, I believe you have something for us, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. We didn't even talk about how COVID is gonna stop this season a little bit too. Like, you got to be ready for the COVID attack on there too. So if you're a commish, get those COVID spots ready. And then also with the short preseason, injuries are going to happen. We're going to see it throughout the whole season. So hang on tight. This is going to be, if this is your first fantasy season, buckle up. It's going to be fun for you. I promise you that. So if you have any questions, man, we're always ready to talk. We're always ready to help you guys out. So hit us in the DMs. But I have Proverbs 27:17. It says, iron sharpens iron and one man sharpens another. And this is so true because, not even knowing any of these guys on the podcast, I I feel like every day I'm challenged by Nate. He's always pumping out good content. I want to be just like Nate, pumping out good stuff too. I don't want to fall behind him. And Pork, man, he's just a nice dude. Everybody loves him. So that puts me wanting to be better as myself. Mike's good at writing on pen and paper. My writing's not that great. But I mean, we just find people that will push you to get better. Find people that will make you want to bring your best to the table. I mean, that's what it's all about. If you're hanging with dogs, you're going to get fleas. That's what my coaches always told me. So find people that are going to motivate you, sharpen you, and make you a better person every single day. And I'm blessed to definitely have a group here that does that for me every single week.
And Chev,
I agree with that, Chev. For real.
So, but Chev, thank you very much. Like I said before, good luck week 1, everybody. So let's take it out from here. Nate, where can we find you on Twitter?
You can find me at Nate NFL.
Nate putting out a ton of great tweets, a lot of good threads, a lot of great stuff on Twitter.
That's what happens when you're unemployed and you got nothing better to do than sit on Twitter.
Blowing my phone up, Nate. I'm like, geez.
Yeah, I gotta comment on everything because I gotta make productive stuff.
Comments are good.
Yeah.
He's definitely a great follow. Another great follow is Chev. Where can we find you on Twitter?
Yep, you can find me at Chev Boyardee, boy with an I.
And Porkman, how about yourself?
You can find me at FF Porkman. And back to what Chev was saying too. If you feel as though if you're winning your league every year, you're probably not playing with great people. Find yourself a great league with some great people that's interactive, making trades and making transactions and stuff like you are. And I promise you'll have a better time than just winning leagues every year.
Yeah, or playing a league with different scoring or different starting lineups or something.
Yeah,
like that. Mix it up.
Exactly.
And also, when you want to trade someone something and they say no, don't belittle them. So speaking,
well, you
of
did that to me, Mike.
Yeah, but that's because we're friends, and I think it's funny.
Yeah. That's fine.
Speaking of good follows, I'm not one of them, but if you were so inclined, you could follow me on Twitter at @TheEmbauer85. I would much rather prefer you follow this show at Dynasty Rewind. We're on all the socials. We're on Twitter at Dynasty Rewind. Like I said, YouTube, please subscribe to that. You have to get entered. Instagram, and we have a Facebook group as well, so make sure you come check that out. Until next week, everybody, be kind. Please rewind. Thanks for watching.